All right, good morning, everybody. You've got Positive Poker Insiders here. You have YoSpazz, myself, Posse1972, and our guest player today is Nigel. We'll be playing on PokerStars. This is session 4 of my poker Apprentice Program with Al. So I've got Al over my shoulder, giving me guidance while we're doing this. Hopefully the plan will be that we're going to be able to sit back, watch Nigel play, make him a little bit of money here in his cash play. Nigel's traditionally a tournament player and would like to dabble a little bit in the cash game play. Al, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, welcome, Nigel. Usually he's in our chat as, I think, softtop666, but he's YoSpazz at the bottom of the table here over at PokerStars. Nigel's been, I'll let you talk about this hand because it looks like he's going to play.
Yep, looks like, Nigel's
that I thought, was that too small of a bet? Because
my preference is 3 to 4 times the big blind whenever you make a raise. But it's also going to depend on the table and how aggressive the players are.
Okay.
So what is your plan here?
I mean, because I'm not confident as well as his 2 overcards, I would be checking.
Okay. So pocket fours, he made a raise of about 2.5% of.
Yes, it was because I've got my button set for my MTTs, which I'll adjust.
Yep.
Here you see, because they've not checked with the jack, they've not even bet with the jack. I've got I would have thought to try and bluff this off. I'll do my best.
Yeah, now on that spot there, I think your bet sizing might be a little bit small. If I was at this table, I would go ahead and call you to say, okay, you know what, it's less than a half pot bet.
Right.
I think I would have probably did 2/3 pot to take a stab, and I agree with the stab there.
But check it down here, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking if you went ahead and came out just a little bit bigger with that C bet, you might have been able to get Fust GP to fold there. So you take one stab at it, and whenever he makes the call with all the overs on the board, I'm in agreement with you. I don't think I'm going to barrel the turn either. I would have probably came out and tried to do a C bet on the flop, and then got the information that I needed at that point from the players.
Okay.
As I was saying before he picked up that hand, Nigel's in the UK, and he makes his journey over to Las Vegas once a year. I think he's got it down to like 6 weeks, 2 days, and 3 hours before he gets on the plane. So he knows,
very close.
He knows where he's going. He knows where he's staying. He knows where he's going to be playing. He knows everything about it. He's done it once or twice already. He knows he's in for a 10-hour flight. So, maybe he's going to play a little cash while he's there too. So I think Ryan's going to help him out in a couple of capacities here.
Hey, Nigel,
the Venetian. Sorry, Ryan.
Are you planning a trip to Vegas for WSOP this year?
No, I've only because I've already booked to go this year. But I'll mostly try and get for next year. I'm normally if I don't do the World Series, Binions normally have a mini World Series a week before the World Series, which I was hoping to get in for that, but they've moved theirs forward as well. So I'm going to the Venetian. They've got a 2-day deep stack. I'll most probably be in when I'm there.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, now
I think it's $200.
Now, something I notice here is, while the table's going, I really like to watch and build a database of notes. I think it's important to see what type of hands these guys are opening with, what type of hands they're checking, floating, raising you on. So, just to try to keep an eye on the table. And since you're only playing the one table, we should be able to fairly easily watch this. 2-4's for sure a fold there. Whenever, you had a raise of, 3 times the big blind raise. And then the donk bet, notice right away he let go of that hand. So that's some interesting information. Maybe he folds the donk bets there. All right, what's your plan right here?
This is the problem I've got, which I would hear. Me personally, I would roughly about 20 to raise. Because I'm in early position, but because of the cards as well. Like you're saying, I'm very, very novice at cash.
Yeah, I would in that situation, if I'm gonna raise with that hand, if you think about it, you just raised it up 8 cents more than what was already there.
Yes, Now thinking of that, he should have been close on 36. He's close on about 30.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And what SKO Scroggs Rudd did a donk bet, which basically just means betting out on whenever the flop comes when he wasn't the pre-flop raiser. So you're coming out showing aggression and strength here, saying that I hit that
the kings.
Yep, I made.
But also because he's low stack, he's short stacked as well.
Yep.
See, now I've got no choice but either put him in on strength or fold here, because if I put a bet in, he's getting too much. If I put half a pot of bet in or even more, he's only got a bit left, so he's going to call anyway, isn't he?
Yeah. If any bet you make, he's going to shove. So it's either a check.
I either put the I forgot what the word is. So you didn't check that king.
No.
So me personally, I would pot this in a little bit more and tell him that I'm not folding.
I love that.
On a complete bluff.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's a complete bluff. I don't think he's got anything. I think the guy's a calling station, personally, just from the little bit we saw there. And, if he didn't bet the sixes, he didn't bet the king, obviously he doesn't have it, in my opinion. So that was very well played.
But before you said anything, Ryan, I actually thought about whatever bet I put in is either going to come over the top of me and put the situation in my hands instead of the other way around. That's the reason I put that bigger bet in, to tell him that it's your choice to call now, and not instead of the other way around.
Yeah. All right, so Ace Jack here. What is your plan looking at the,
Independent, at the moment it's going to be a 3x.
Okay.
If obviously I might go back down. See, that's a 3x.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's been pretty. I don't know how to raise him over the top.
He's going to call. He's a calling station.
Yeah.
So I think that, what I would have probably done right there, because Ace Jack's not a super strong hand, I would have probably called his 15 cents and said, let's play post flop against him. If he was a decent player, he would go ahead and raise you right there. But with him call, that says a whole lot. So now you want to extract value, right?
Yeah. So roughly just under half pot.
Yeah.
Under half pot. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's a smaller bet. Basically saying I'm not worried about what you have. I've got the jack here. There's only what do you think? Now, before you call this, what do you think he's shoving with?
I don't know. Most probably the flush more than the jack.
Yeah, I think so too. Oh, even worse. Yeah, no, I put him on the flush draw when he shoved all in like that. So that's something that you might want to take note on with that guy.
But I can do that, you see. I can.
Oh well, he's gone now.
But that's all right with Poker Stars.
Okay. So your yellow.
Hey Ryan, can I jump in for just a second?
Yes.
Are you checking your Skype every now and then? I'm sending you a couple little messages.
From time to time, yeah.
Okay. One thing I'd just like to make Nigel aware of is, Nigel, when you're racing and then you're betting like a continuation bet or anything like that, when you're first, you will put an extreme pressure on your opponent. So before, when he was really short with $1.45 and you had the ace queen, when you bet first, because you were saying, well, if I bet, he'll call, or if I check, he'll bet, then I'm going to call. If you're willing to do that, then be the first one to put the money in, unless you want the person to put the money in and you're going to call. If you think your bet's going to drive him out and you're not going to get paid when you have a good hand, then you might want to do it the other way. But when you have a hand that you haven't hit anything like that, by you betting first, you have what we call fold equity, and that you're going to win hands that he folds, that he thinks that he's behind you, and by you betting. Whereas if you check, he's going to put money in, put the decision on you.
Putting the pressure on me, yeah. So that's what I was trying to get through. I couldn't get it into my head what I needed to say.
Yeah, I'm a fan of putting the pressure on the player that I'm going against, unless I know they're a super aggressive player. Then I'll go ahead and in that situation allow them to drive the pot up. Yeah, what I would do while playing here is I would try to start looking at the hands and saying, all right, what type of range is this individual playing? And try to kind of go from there so you got an idea of practicing trying to range individuals. If you see a raise, then say, all right, what do you think this individual's raising with? And then, take a look at whenever they show their cards and see how close you are. And then I would go ahead and then start, marking some notes on that.
I don't have my wife is on. Sorry.
There's no way I'll pay an 8-5 in that position anyway, right?
No, I agree with that. That's a no-brainer. You're in a full ring game. Right now your image isn't very tight. You've played, a couple different hands. What I think you've got money in the pot now twice, 3 times. So at this point, you want to be very cognitive of what your image is at this table. Yep, that's a good fold from early position. Now, if you were on
if it had been button or very late position, then I would have put a raise in there, uncontested.
Yeah. Yep. So, Spaz, what is it that you're fearful of when you're playing at a cash table versus a tournament? If you're playing, anywhere from 8 to 10 tournament tables at a time, what's the biggest difference that you see, or the fear that you have of cash?
I think, Ryan, I used to be sponsored for MTTs and sit and goes. And because it was somebody else's cash, in theory, obviously I got 50% of everything I was in profit with. I think it's like my mentor says, you need a set of balls, Nigel. Stop being afraid. You know, he was, you know, and I suppose and that's, you're right, the wife's just come in for some reason or other. And he just it's, I don't know, scared, I suppose, of losing too much money. Where when you're an MTT or a sit and go, you only enter, you know, the account that you know, the amount you want to lose or not lose, if the case may be.
Yeah, so basically it's a lot easier playing with somebody else's money and knowing that it's a fixed amount that you're sitting into that tournament with.
That's right, but because I'm on, because I'm playing with my own money, you see, then I will stick to my own strict bankroll.
Yep.
I don't like that, and Ryan, regardless of what position, to be honest.
Yeah.
I know we can make good money, but because this raise as well,
no,
I just don't like it.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, because you got it. Whenever you're looking at that, Queen Jack is going to be crushed quite a bit by a raiser's range. You know, you got Ace Queen, King Queen, Ace Jack. You know, so I think that you hit your queen, you very easily could be behind right from the beginning with a raise like that.
And also, what Al names it? Is it Hawaiian? Did you say Al?
Yeah, it doesn't win very much.
And that's stuck in my head a little bit. And now even in MTTs, it still sticks in my head with the Jack Queen.
There's a time and a place.
Now, what about something like this, 8-9 suited? Is this a hand that you like to experiment with, or no?
See, this can be profitable if it hits and played on you know, in the right position.
Mm-hmm.
See there, because he's raised, I would fold. But if he would have come in and contested, I would have raised.
Okay.
See, if I might have been round here, the button area, I might have called that.
Yeah. Yeah, you know.
Does that sound out? No, just.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. You know, 9-8 suited is, you know, that's going to be right at the bottom of a range if you're playing about 22% of the cards that are being dealt to you. If you're getting money in. So that would be definitely at the bottom of your range. I can understand not calling a raise there. You want to be the first in the pot to raise with a hand like that. But I'd also say 9-8 suited in that situation is a good hand to raise with, because chances are the raiser that you know came initially into the pot, I'm going to put them on bigger cards. So chances are you're not going to be overshadowed by them having an ace-9 or an ace-8 or anything like that. So that's definitely a good 3-bet hand to play.
Is that uncontested? Did you say? I'm sorry, I missed what you said then. The 8-9, if nobody would have put anything in the pot, it would have been a 3-bet. Am I correct?
No, if they didn't put anything into the pot, you want to basically be the first in to raise with that hand. What I said was, you know, whenever somebody else raises in front of you, 9-8's one of those hands that you could easily put the pressure back on them and 3-bet them with a hand like that, because it's going to be less likely that the raiser has an 8 or a 9 in their hand. So you're raising with 2 live cards.
Right, okay.
Nigel, another factor in that is the stack size of your opponent. In this particular case, the guy that put the raise in had about 154, which is very low. So you're really not going to get the implied odds to hit the hand that you really want to really stack them for a big amount. You're only going to get a minimal amount. So you'd rather do that against somebody that has a lot of money that can double you up.
Yeah, okay.
All right, if somebody raises to 15 cents and nobody else calls, are you going to defend your big blind here, or are you going to lay this down?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, it is out of my 25% range.
Yeah.
But A, it's a gapper, and B, that if it does come right, then it can be very profitable.
Mm-hmm.
Like that.
Yeah, right.
So, but because he could have overcards, me personally, I would be slightly over pot by something like about 26, 25.
Okay, so you're going to donk bet out.
Yeah. That tells me he's got overcards or he's just being a bully. Me personally.
Yeah, now the way I would have played that hand is I would have checked it to set killers. Let him, since he was the initial raiser in the pot, I'm going to go ahead and check to him, let him make a bet, and then I'd come back and re-raise him.
Okay.
I would have done exactly what he did to you. Because I'm guessing he's sitting there saying, okay, this guy's trying to fake like he's got a 3, or he's very comfortable if he's got 10s or above and you hit the 9. But I would have probably check raised in that situation.
Okay.
Yep, you gotta lay that down. It's not really a hand you want to play there for sure.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, in your tournament play, Nigel, do you do much 3-betting?
I'd say no.
Okay.
I'm not a 3-bet. I don't. I'm not an aggressive player at all, to be honest.
Okay.
I'm pretty tight.
Well, you can be tight, but yet still aggressive also. So it sounds like what you're classifying yourself as probably a tight passive player?
Yes, I would say so.
Okay. I think if it was me, I would work a little bit on the aggression side. I think that you don't want to be passive or a calling station when hands or when flops come down, because you're going to allow them to get to their hands. I rather drive the action with aggression.
Okay.
And at these stakes, when you're playing 2-5, I think you can afford to be a little bit aggressive and see how it goes. Because whenever you're playing your tournaments that you get into, what is the standard buy-in of a tournament that you play?
Anything right up to $10, depending on what sort of day it is. Because Sunday on PokerStars, they've got some huge tournaments, 300k tournaments for $10 entries. So obviously, I mean, for an example, there's a not 215, a bit out of my range. There's an $8 one there for 30k. These are just average tournaments, but on a Sunday, they've $44 for 40k. Out of my range. $22. They're up for 45k, and they're the bog standard ones. But the ones on Sundays, which is the replays there, the see if we've got a final storm. I mean, the $1 million one, which is 215 buy-in, 1.4 mil in the pot.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're pretty big. On a Sunday is a very busy day. I mean, even there, 3k for a 5.5 entry fee. You know what I'm saying? It's Sunday is a busy day where normally I go down levels Monday to Saturday, and then Sunday and normally anything up to $10. It depending when I want to play as well, Ryan. Because at the moment, because I'm in Vegas mode, I'm trying to learn more and be more. I don't know. I'm preparing myself ready for Vegas, to be honest. And I know how they play down in Binions, and they were just too easy money, if you know what I'm saying. On the MTT side of things, especially.
Yeah. Yep. No, that makes total sense. So what you're saying is, typically you're playing anywhere from $2 to $8 for your tournaments. And you mentioned earlier that you're scared to sit down at a cash game and sit down with, afraid you might lose that money. If you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, the in Binions, I think they play. I'm not quite sure. It might be 1-2, 1-3. I'm not sure, but when you're going in with $300, which is 100 buy-ins, which I might be wrong at this, it's as a hefty chunk off your daily allowance, daily what I allocate myself a day. Where if I go in an MTT for $60, $80, $100, I just seen, I don't know. It could be about money. I'm not quite sure, but it just seems putting $300 on the table, adapting to it being real money instead of tournament dollars.
Yep,
is a big changeover for me, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. I
mean, when I've got 10,000 chips in my hand, and it cost me $100 to enter, we're looking at how much that $10 evaluates to $10. But when you've got $300 in real cash money, it is real money. If you know what I'm saying, it's actual real money.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that I wouldn't be concerned. I can understand when you're sitting at live play, having to sit down for. Well, let's just put that on hold for a minute. What is your plan right now?
I would like to re-raise him, but there's two things that would put me off here. One is he's got 3 stars, so he's a very good player. I can't even. Oh, he's playing 5-6 games, so I'd say he's got premium cards here.
Okay.
So it's either I'm gonna go for the re-raise here, which will be 105, roughly about 85.
Okay.
No, it's just a bit. It will need to be a bit more, to be honest.
I usually do re-raise pot and then add a little. I hit the pot button and then add on a little bit at that point. So you're basically coming back at him saying, "Hey, Jagpock, I've got strength here."
So now I need to put pressure on him, like I explained before. So I need to be half pot and a bit more to tell him I'm putting pressure on him. Is that correct?
That is one way to do this. Another way to do it is check to him and then re-raise him. That way it's not costing you that dollar there. And just kind of get you're open the door. You're opening the door for him to go ahead and make a mistake. So now he's coming out basically betting close to pot to put the decision on you on how you want to play this. In tournament play, would you make this call or would you lay it down?
In tournament, I would fold this without any, only because of what he's playing, his 3 stars that he's showing, etc., etc. And because he raised me as well, me personally, he's either got queens, kings, or aces.
If that's where you're ranging him at, then I would fold also. When looking at your hand, you've got a backdoor flush draw, backdoor nut flush draw that you have as a possibility there. That could have easily been an ace-king raise by him too. And whenever you checked to him, he said, "All right, I'm going to go ahead and show strength on this hand." But I think that from the beginning, you kind of said you felt like you ranged him a little bit higher. So
Yeah.
I'm okay with that laydown. Al, would you have played that any differently?
Yeah, I would have played it a little bit differently. I would have flatted him pre-flop only because the 3 stars that Nigel pointed out, and I was out of position. And then I would have checked to him and check raised him on the flop, or I would have donk bet into him, based on the flop. But I would have played it a little differently, only because I thought he might have a big pair there, and he might just put me in all in pre-flop. I'm surprised that he just called. When he called Nigel pre-flop like that, then I kind of put him on the ace queen type things, or the ace jack suited, something like that. And I thought maybe Nigel was really ahead. Just another way of looking at it. It doesn't mean what he did or what you're saying is wrong. It's just that's what I would have done.
Okay.
So do you think the more aggression would have been the better option than the check and let him put the ball?
Good. If you went ahead and just called his 45-cent bet from the beginning instead of re-raising him, then you're implementing a little bit of pot control. When the flop came, you could check to him and then let's see how he reacts to it. You might have ended up putting the same amount of money in that pot as what you did there, but you didn't really gain a whole lot of additional information with the re-raise.
And also because he's playing 6 games as well.
Mm-hmm.
I would have thought he's going to be playing pretty tight.
Yeah.
As well, so I think he might only be playing premium hands.
Is Ace King considered a premium hand?
To me, it is.
How about Ace Queen?
True.
Yeah, so his premium hands. If you take a look at Flopzilla and you take it down to only about 11%, that's any pocket pair, Ace King, Ace Queen, Ace Jack, and Ace 10. Suited, and
11%.
then Ace King, Ace Queen, Ace Jack off.
Yeah, 11%. Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. Yeah, I've just put it in. You see that I'm just playing with Flopzilla as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So I had my head turned into Flopzilla. Was there any pre-flop action? Because I just noticed Jackpot went ahead and did a
2 seconds. You can do it yourself.
Yeah. So he raised a 15. So he did it 3 times big blind, and then also
2 seconds.
Yeah, that's a good fold.
I'll bring it back up.
Yeah, so right away he did a pot size bet. So that either says, he's got an ace and he's scared of that flush draw, or maybe that's a pattern that the guy's going to go ahead and c-bet pot size each time.
Yeah.
Just something to kind of watch and see.
See, I would call this to see if we can get in cheap.
Okay. I think that's the first time we've seen Melo put money in the pot, isn't it?
Yes, so I'd say he's yes.
Okay. But he only did a raise of 2 times the big blind, so it's not costing you much. You should have a fairly live hand here.
Sorry about that.
I'm going to check this and see if we can get anything free or the diamonds or get in cheap.
Yeah, absolutely.
If he makes this less than 25, I think I'd call this.
And the reason for that?
The flush, they're going to be... I can't see anybody having ace-king when he's only min the MG guy here.
That's key. That's exactly what I was looking to hear. Because you would have anticipated somebody would have re-raised him if they had ace-king pre-flop. Now, with that 15-cent bet, you know, you could look at that and say, all right, tilt alert's either doing that with an ace in his hand. He could also be on the flush draw. Maybe he's got king, queen, king, jack. But with that minimum raise by Malo, you're not getting a whole lot of information. He's on the button. He could. But
also, it's costing me 15 to win 70.
Yep.
And I've got, you know, so the odds are there, plus obviously the diamond, which I've got.
Yep.
So now I'm going to check raise when somebody puts money in the pot.
I like the move, yeah.
Only because I want people. Oh shit!
That's got to be the worst card that could have came.
I'm going to flat this. I can't. It's not worth fold. You know, it's 18 to win $1 something. Mm-hmm. So I think he's got a rogue ace personally. I think he's got a low ace.
Then fold.
Informational call.
Okay. Yeah, I think that you both of them have boats.
Hey, Nigel, there's...
Yeah.
That tells me enough.
Nigel, anytime that you're going for a flush when there's a pair on the board, you got to be careful. The other day in a 5-cent, 10-cent, I was in with a client, and I had 4-5 of clubs and an ace 10 of clubs flopped with another 10, and the turn happened to be the jack of clubs, and made my flush. Also made a royal flush for my opponent. Not funny.
No.
Yeah.
So would you say that was just being unlucky, or did I play that wrong?
No, I think that I don't think I would have made that pot huge. I would have definitely implemented pot control there because, like Al said, there was a pair on the board, and you know if the board pairs again, chances are your flush is no good anyways. So you know I think that you lost the minimum on that hand by playing it like you did. Only thing I would have done differently is I would not have called the 18 cents. Whenever he bet that 18 cents, I would have probably believed in the net situation and say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and just lay down. Especially when you even said that...
this guy's a rogue ace. He's got a low ace.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Brian, the only thing I would have done differently there is when he hit the flush, I would have come out betting. Now, if having said that, the guy with the king, because this is such low stakes, the guy with the king is not going to go away. He's going to stay for the flush. So unless the board pairs up again or a card comes that gives the other person the full house, I think I'm going to win that pot. That was the worst card that could have been on the river, but I would have gotten my money in BYOB on the turn instead of having it check back to me like he did.
Just a quick one. Do you think it's easier to learn at a higher stake that I'm playing?
Yes.
Because we haven't got so many. That solves that problem. Would you say increase my bankroll, and because I can afford it, it's not the cost, increase my bankroll and play it a higher rate, higher table, because I would learn better than playing with people that don't care about losing $2.
Yes and no. You know, I think that when you move up in stakes, you're definitely going to get a better style of play. It's going to be more in line with what you're going to see when you sit down at a casino at 1-3 or 1-2. You know, kind of like Al said earlier, when you sit down with $5, I mean, think about it. People piss away $5, you know, in a gumball machine at the grocery store. So they're not as concerned about that. But, you know, if it was me, I know, you know, I've noticed that depending upon the sites, you can see some really good play at a 25 NL table, 50 NL table. For me personally, I think I've got the most success at NL50, 25 cent, 50 cent. I don't know why that is, but it seems like my style of play works much better there than it does at a 25 NL table.
And would you say playing at a softer poker site than PokerStars
Yes, for
would
sure.
be more beneficial?
For sure, yeah. Yeah, now, another way that you can look at this is to say, okay, I'm going to sit down in the 2 cent, 5 cent games, and I'm going to master this. I'm gonna get myself very comfortable with my play. I'm not gonna be scared to make plays on people. I'm not gonna be scared to bluff, because if I bluff and lose, I'm losing $5. That's it. So you could also take that stance also. But I do believe that at the lower stakes, you're not going to get away with as many bluffs as you will when you move up in stakes. This is going to be more, I think, true ABC poker.
Here's the deal, Nigel. This is from just watching you play and hearing what your comments are. You're not going to learn what you need to learn at 1 cent, 2 cent, 2 cent 4, or 2 cent 5. You're just not going to experience, because like Ryan said, people will piss away $5. They'll also take chances on things. They'll play a wider range of hands. You'll be playing like your tournament mentality, and you'll be putting people on ranges that they can't possibly have at this low level, so they'll throw you off. Even if I don't think you're ready for 10 cent 25. I just don't think that you have the aggression factor or you have the confidence to get there. But I would play at the nickel dime level. I would look at a lot of the videos that are up on YouTube that I put up there, the nickel dime, hear what I'm talking about, get some confidence built up, and then go in there and play smart. Do a lot of check raising. Do a lot of non-drawing hands, and just play pretty solid poker, and just watch others and try to put people on hands. Try to interpret the bet sizes of others, whether or not they make a small bet into a pot, or less than half the pot, or they make a full pot bet. See what they get exposed for doing, and that's where I would cut my teeth before moving up to where you're going to make some money.
Can I just say to Al, please don't take this the wrong way, but nickel and dime to me means nothing, because I live in the UK.
Okay.
So
5 cents, 10 cents, which means I don't know what the shilling is right now.
That's all right. It's all right. That's done. No. So would you say I'm better off cutting my teeth at the 5-10 cent tables?
Yes.
Yes.
Instead of a nickel and dime tables. That's good.
That's what 5 cent, 10 cents is. Nickel dime.
That is
Okay.
nickel dime.
Yeah.
That is nickel dime. And you know what I'll do, Nigel? Next week, I'll bring you in. I'll do a nickel dime table, and I'll have you shadow me, and I'll explain everything to you. No pressure on you, and I'll be the coach, and you just be the shadower, and we'll go over a lot more information for you, with you in a comfort zone of not having to worry about losing any money. And I'll demonstrate different things, what might be correct in some places and some things may be wrong, just to show you what the opponent might be doing, and that just to show you that the read is correct. So if you're up for that, I'll do that with you next week, as my gift to you and your dedication to poker and being with me for a long time.
Speaking to the financial gaffer when she's downstairs, I can, without batting an eyelid, my wife, and obviously, wouldn't have a problem in me topping whichever poker site I up with $50 a week anyway, just to learn. I know that I don't want to be losing $50 a week, obviously, but so to learn, it wouldn't be, I'm not sweating about losing, $50, which in the UK is about approximately 35 English. I think he's chasing this flush here.
Yeah, make him pay then.
Yeah, do right.
Remember, this is the guy with the 3 stars, right?
Mm-hmm.
What would the guy with the 3 stars do here?
Re-raise.
What would he do?
He's going to re-raise me.
If he's got more than 14 outs, he should be shoving his stack, in my opinion. Put the pressure right back on you. And you showed earlier that whenever when you were re-raised, you went ahead and laid it down. So you showed weakness there. I would have put the pressure right back on you. And with your hand, I would have called him.
See, with this, it folded to me.
Good.
And obviously because of this, I'm right in doing the ace.
Yeah, no, that's a good raise.
As you can tell by my voice and me asking questions, I'm not confident at cash. I'm just because I've played MTTs and Singos for the last 10, 15 years, and it is a different environment altogether. Yep. And like I said, with sitting in a casino with $300, is a huge amount of my daily budget, because I go with approximately, I normally allocate myself about $600-700 a day.
Right.
But that's only because sometimes I go out spending, because obviously Vegas is a lot cheaper than the UK, even though it may not be cheap to yourself.
Don't be afraid to use that pot button.
Yes, yeah, I agree. Hit the pot button and then tweak a little bit from there. I don't like the bet of only 17 cents in this spot. I think I'd like to go just a teeny bit more aggressive. I'd go probably 2/3.
See, this is where you two geese kick guidance to me. I need to be more aggressive, grab a set of balls and.
Well, here's the thing, Nigel. Not that only that, it's you allow the other person then to 3 times bet you. You give him the chance to control it without putting a lot of money in. So he could put in 50 cents here and knock you right off of his hand. Whereas if you would have made this bet somewhere up around the 30 cents or 30, see exactly what I'm talking about. If you'd have made it up there by 30, for him to do it, he's got to go way over $1. He's only going to do it if he really has a good hand. He stole that from you.
Yeah.
That's what you have to learn.
Yeah, it's okay to lose $5 here. Even though your bankroll's to 50, it's okay to go ahead and apply that pressure and be a little bit more aggressive.
I like this hand, but maybe not in this position.
Oh, Jack 9.
Nigel, you have to ask 2 questions when you say that. When you say I like this hand, the first question is, do you win with it?
Yes, true.
And the second
I like any winning hand, but does Jack 9 win?
And the second question is, how far away from the button am I? Am I really stretching my neck out here, or am I really playing smart?
That's why I folded.
You got to answer those questions. Anytime you bet, you got to answer the question. Ryan's been asking you this whole session. What are you going to do when this happens? You got to be prepared when somebody makes a bet. What are you going to do, and what do you expect to get from that bet? That's the important part of this game, that you have to think ahead like chess.
I would have been more apt to play that Jack 9 last hand than what you got right now, because your position, you were only 2 off from the button. It was definitely a spot that you could have played it at, if that's a hand that you really enjoy playing. And I agree with Al. There's a difference between a hand you enjoy playing versus a profitable hand. One of my favorite hands is King 9 to play, but over time it hasn't won a lot of money for me.
Mm-hmm.
See, how can I put this? yes, I would like to win money, but I'd rather be better at something than winning money. Does that sound daft?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Because if you're better at the game, the money's going to come naturally. There's variance in poker. You know that. So as long
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh
as
Jesus, yes.
yeah, as long as you're better and you're improving your game, the money's going to come. I feel. I think that's hand in hand. Yeah, Dave, share with us what hand is it that you didn't like that bet at all? The A7 C bet? Okay.
Yeah, that's the one we said that the 17 cents was bogus amount.
Yep. Yeah, Nigel. The Lango's in our chat room, also in the Skype room, and he's a poker instructor, and he's saying basically the same thing, that the A7 C bet on the Jack 10X, he doesn't like that play. I like the pot size bet right here.
He's got a 6.
Hopefully he tries to bluff you out of this.
I think he's got an overcard. I think he's got an overcard at 7.
I think he's got 5, 6.
Yeah.
Ooh, cards.
Yeah. See, you followed your gut.
Good man.
Very nice.
No, if I'd have followed him, I'd have folded there because I thought he had the overcard. I
You-
thought he had a pair overpair. Sorry.
Oh, I thought when you said over, I thought you said
No,
over
sorry.
cards.
No, yeah, I meant to say overpair.
So what that says to me is you've got what I refer to as monsters under the bed. You're looking at the worst
Yes.
case scenario and
Yes.
thinking, oh God, that's what he's got.
100% with the 100%. You hit the nail on the head there. That definitely one big nail on the head.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to play poker when you're scared.
Yes, and as daft as it seems, it's not about scaring and losing the money. It's making yourself look a prize plonker, maybe the word.
As I've said this multiple times on my stream, I've mentioned it to Al also. In this game, if you're not getting caught bluffing, you're not bluffing enough. You have to get bluffing into your ranges. You're going to get caught. You're going to find yourself with the hand in the cookie jar, from time to time, and get busted. That's part of the game. You have to do that.
So I think I'm going to increase my bankroll at the end of today, most probably, and move up to the 510. Follow some of Al's videos, and also do a bit more YouTubing on the 510 levels. And hopefully the wife will be happy when I grow a set of balls.
Hey Nigel, I think you probably got a big set of balls. I just don't think that you take advantage of it, and you don't have the tools right now. If you go into the 5 cent, 10 cent on the YouTube that I've put up there, and just go in and use the pause button when I get dealt the cards, before I open my mouth and start telling you what I'm going to do, think about what you're going to do, and think about anything else at the table that you're suspecting other people to do, or and see if you can just come up with what's going on, and see if you can put yourself in the same frame of mind. Then let it play out, and then once the flop comes, do the same thing again. Pause it, and see if you can think about what the C bet's going to be, or if there's going to be a fold or a 3 bet or whatever. See if you can just anticipate what the conversation is going to be, and see if that doesn't help you a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Another thing is when you get back onto playing here, I don't think there would be anything wrong with you if you sat down and played a little bit of what is it, Zoom on here. And,
Zoom, yeah.
You know,
I mean, Zoom is just huge.
yeah.
It is huge.
Oh, I know. And what I would do is, I would do exactly like Al said. Go out, watch some of the streaming videos that he has out there on some of the smaller stakes, as well as there's a streamer that Skrimitsky has that's one of his students named Nacho. And Nacho plays lower stake Zoom on PokerStars, and I really like his style of play. I think you can learn from him also.
So, do you Nacho? Is he on YouTube or is he on the streaming guy? Because I've actually got the streaming guy that you're talking about. Is it Shu? I can't remember the gentleman's name.
Yeah,
I've got him actually on their Twitch.
Yeah, he's a Twitch streamer.
Stefan Tudor is his name.
I've got I've just got Twitch up on the other PC.
Make sure you mute it.
Yeah, I've just done it. Don't worry.
Yeah, I think that what I would do is while you're getting your feet wet here, definitely stick to a very tight range of starting hands. What I found is you're going to make less mistakes when you're not playing pots with 6-7 or 6-8 off, because you're playing 35% of the hands post flop. I would definitely tighten up your range. Remember aggression. You're going to want to try to put the decision and the aggression right back onto your player that you're playing against. You definitely want to play with confidence. Forget about the fact that you're saying you might not be comfortable in these spots. The only way to get comfortable is practice, play, learn. Go ahead and take stabs. It's definitely very important to try to range these players. The more you play, the more comfortable you're going to get with this, and it's going to come second nature to you, just like you're getting right now in tournament play.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find them. I've got him on my watch as well. I'm just trying to find him.
And I think that it would be a great move for you also to stick to full ring tables. That way the pace is a little bit slower, not as aggressive as maybe a 6 max, and really focus on mastering the game here.
So I've got this guy, Scrim Stew, is that him?
Yes. Yeah.
And how do I find the gentleman that he's helping out with?
I will send you the link after the stream when I find it.
Excellent.
Yeah, because I want to say he was playing, is there an 8-cent, 16-cent Zoom?
2 seconds, I'm not sure.
It was an odd number, maybe 7 cent, 14 cent, 816 is what I think he's been playing.
Yeah, they've got an 8-16 full and non-full and a 6-man.
Yeah, he moved up to 1025 and he felt like he wasn't doing well. So he ended up moving down a little bit, where he said he could be a little bit more profitable. So it'd be definitely, that might be right in the wheelhouse of what your bankroll is going to be to watch him play.
Okay. I'm writing this down for homework, maybe the word.
Yeah. Yep.
A 46-year-old guy going back to school.
I'm there with you. 43 and still doing homework myself. I should take a video of my desk with all my notes that I've got, all the different charts that I've created on my play with the odds, the percentages, the ratios, notes to myself to remind me of my play. What I like to do is sit down and analyze my play afterwards. If it's not every session, at least once a week tops, or at a minimum, and then sit back and say, okay, this week I need to improve in this area, and really keep it, on a notepad that's nice and big so I can see that to say, all right, this is what my focus is for the week.
Right, okay. See, I could, for an example, I can get share with Boom, and just a typical example, I could copy the link there, save you the links.
Yes.
And then ask questions maybe once a week or whenever one of you guys have got time.
You know what I would do, Nigel, is whenever you get a hand that you have questions on, copy that and drop it into the PPI study group. With us having, I think, 12 people in there, you're definitely going to get all sorts of different ideas on how to play that hand.
Good idea.
Yeah, definitely let's use that group. That you've got a handful of good poker players in there. You'll get different opinions from each person, and then you can kind of run with that and say, all right, it looks like this is what I like the best moving forward. We've had you've seen we've had multiple discussions in there about different ways to play pocket jacks versus two overs, pocket queens versus overs, and just kind of play through.
What was that about queens and ace king?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there was a discussion where I basically called Al a donkey with the way he played his pocket queens. After further research, I found that, put a feather in his hat here. He played the hand absolutely right. I just got lucky. But I did get a stack, but I got lucky. I think it was like...
couldn't that confuse me in if I've got that many people giving me different information?
No.
Couldn't that confuse me?
No, I don't think you're going to see that there's going to be a ton of different information. If you get into that situation where there are so many different stances with it, then definitely shoot me a message on the side and say, hey, take a look at this. There, the room's telling me this and that. I'm not sure which way I would go.
Okay. This guy's a regular player. This Stinger Diamond Ego.
Yeah.
I've spotted him many times on the MTT side of things as well. I mean, I've seen them 15 and 16 games. I'm like, I think the most I've ever done on sit and goes is 22, but the concentration has lost me, so I didn't do it again.
I tell you, I am completely baffled, Nigel, at how you were able to play 22 tables just watching you play this one cash table.
I wasn't. I watched Elke do the world record for, was it? I think it was 85 at once, and to make a profit within an hour or something to the effect of sit and goes.
Yeah.
And I thought, I've got to have a go.
Hey, Nigel, go ahead and click on the sit out next big blind. That way we can, we'll go ahead and get to the point where you're at right before your big blind, and then we'll go ahead and wrap up the hour session.
Yep.
Yeah, going back and looking, I think whenever Al and I were in our hands together, I had ace king, he had pocket queens. He had a 56% chance of beating me to my 44%. And I just ended up getting lucky with that hand.
Plus the fold equity, because I shoved, and a lot of times you might fold, so it's not the 56, it's probably somewhere in the 65 range. If you add on the amount of times somebody might just fold.
Yeah, true. Yeah, King 7 is definitely a fold from early position.
Oh yeah, very early position. In fact, I don't think it would be maybe buttered uncontested. It may have been a raised, but I don't think.
So
I'll be blind next.
Yeah, King 7 would be about 56% of the range.
Yeah.
All right, so it looks to me like you'll be sitting out the next hand. So,
Yeah.
let's go ahead and take a look at, first off, I think you played fairly solid poker. You've got, you made $3.17. So, you got the money that followed in behind a little bit, which is nice. Some of the things that, you need to sit back and look at for homework or moving forward is, definitely go out and watch some additional play at these stakes, and slow down the play of the individual that you're watching and try to put yourself into their shoes. What would you do, or what do you think is the right move there? In the cash, you definitely want to stick to a tight, aggressive play. Your re-raises or your raises, you want to make sure you make them big enough that you're not providing pot odds to the individuals to call behind you. Some of the things that you were doing early on. What other things did you jot down for your notes?
Just one that I needed to ask is, obviously practice makes perfect, but do I allocate, say, an hour research, an hour playing, or vice versa, or obviously does that depend how I feel on? Do I feel up to playing poker? Do I feel like up to homework, etc.?
It probably should be a ratio of 3-to-1, 3 hours of homework, 1 hour of play, but I don't think that's probably very realistic. What I would do is, whatever is the most comfortable for you. In your study sessions, if you're walking away with a lot of good information that's going to help your game out, then definitely focus on the study. Make sure you go ahead and get there, but you also need to get play. You need to get time in or hands played so that you find yourself being more comfortable with your overall play.
Okay, so I'm going to increase my bankroll. Would you say to $100 at the did you say the 5-10 tables? Would you say $100 bankroll would be adequate for the near future, or
you might not need to adjust it at all? Sit down at 5 cent, 10 cent with what you have, and that way maybe you don't have to. If you've got another $50 to go ahead and deposit, don't deposit it on here. Hold on to it and see. Maybe you can sit down at 5-10 and run it up. Your $50 here that you've already got without putting any more on. Bankroll management's very important to go ahead and implement that. But part of the things that you need to look at with that is, if you're saying that you've got the ability to provide $200 to your bankroll a month at $50 a week, or $250 a month, then you need to incorporate that into your overall bankroll management. If you sat back and said, no, I can't afford to put anything in there, my $50 or now your $60 is what I have to play with, then you're going to adjust your stakes based on that.
Right. Okay. That's good.
Yeah, so I think overall the session went pretty well. I can't wait to see Poker Stars in the U.S. We got it in New Jersey right now, but
definitely. Yeah, Jay Carver plays there at the moment. He's playing in New Jersey at the moment. He says because he streams.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot, Jay Carver.
Yep. So thank you very much for allowing me to shadow you and provide you with some coaching from me. Al, is there anything in closing that you would like to say?
Yeah, I'd like Nigel to take a break for a little bit and clear his head and everything. I'm going to be back. I'm going to stream at 2 o'clock Eastern time, which is an hour and 10 minutes from right now. I don't know if, Nigel, you'll be available or not, but I would share my screen with you. I'll do a nickel dime table or a full flush, and I'll just let you relax and you watch me, and I'll explain some things to you that way if you have the time. If not, we'll do it another time.
Yeah, that's good. Do we an hour and 10? That's brilliant. That's 7 o'clock UK time. Do we chat on Skype as normal?
I'm going to broadcast it live, and I'm going to share my screen on Skype with you.
Okay, that is superb.
All right.
Superb. Yeah, I'm well happy with that. It gives me time to go and speak to the good lady and make sure she's happy. And I will.
No problem. I'm going to do it.
You should know, guys. If you don't keep them happy, we're in trouble already.
Very good. Well, thank you very much, Nigel, for the time today. Hopefully you got some good information out of this, and I look forward to watching the 2 o'clock Eastern time stream with Al and you working together at a 5-cent, 10-cent table. Thanks, everybody, for sticking around with us today. If you haven't already followed, please go down and follow our stream. With that, I'm going to thank you, and we're going to go ahead and end it for the day. Have a good one.
Take care.
And you, take care.